Auzubillahi Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Abdul Basit Malik, and today's topic is very important. It is about obesity, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and reversal of fatty liver. So please watch carefully, take notes wherever it is needed, and try to understand the whole topic and subject. Sometimes people, they are in a hurry and they just need some tips to do that, but it is unfortunately not possible without understanding the whole subject. You cannot be benefited as a whole. So, coming towards the topic, we are just within the process of pandemic of COVID, which has definitely killed so many people. But bigger than the COVID pandemic, the pandemic of obesity is too much, too big. It is all around the world. Almost 1 billion people are obese in the whole world. So this is almost about 13-14% of the total population. In the United States, about 40% people, they are obese. And in South Asia and Asia, like Pakistan is number 1 in type 2 diabetes. It means so many obese people in that very small country. Similarly, Qatar, similarly, Egypt, they are leading towards obesity and to diabetes. So non-alcoholic fatty liver disease is one of the big causes in obesity. Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease is affecting not only the adults. About 650 million adults, they are having obesity, about 350 million youth, and about 50 million very young kids and children, they are having obesity, and most of them are having non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Now, what is the big cause of this fatty liver? The biggest cause of this fatty liver is table sugar, which contains 2 molecules. One is glucose. We have already discussed in one of my videos about glucose, and the other one is fructose. Fructose is the sweet part of the sugar. Fructose is found in almost all of the fruits, natural fruits. They have fructose, more or less, and that's why they are sweet. So in the table sugar, the sweet component is mostly coming from fructose. As it is sweet, so it is addictive. We want to eat more and more and more and more. So high fructose corn syrup, because it is so sweet and it is cheap than sugar, so it is used in almost all of the processed foods, bakery, colas, drinks, squashes, jellies, other desserts, so on and so forth. So food industry is using fructose at a very high pace. Now, what fructose is doing? It has direct impacts on our body and it has indirect impacts on our body. Out of the direct impacts, how it causes the impacts. First, we have to understand how it is metabolized in the liver. When it is ingested, it is immediately digested and it is immediately absorbed by the blood and goes into the liver where it is metabolized, where it is digested, where it is transformed into its end products. Some of the digestion of fructose is also in the small intestine. The small intestinal fructose is also absorbed and goes again into the liver. There, some of the fructose is converted into glycogen, which is a storage compound in the body and is stored into the liver and muscles so as to provide us energy when we are in a fight and flight mode. In emergency, this is released and first utilized as a form of energy before any other forms of energies. It is not too much, some 100 milligrams, and the rest of the fructose is again metabolized into one form is uric acid, which is the most bad and the dangerous form. As an end product of fructose metabolism, uric acid goes high in the people consuming fructose. Now, uric acid is causing so many problems. First of all, it is damaging the nitric oxide within the body, and it is causing damage to 3 levels of nitric oxide utilization. First, in brain, when there is damage to the brain part of nitric oxide, and it reduces the production of nitric oxide, and because of this, the blood vessels supplying to the brain, they do not supply efficiently, and blood supply to the brain is decreased, and this is leading towards Alzheimer, dementia, Parkinsonism, and even stroke. Similarly, uric acid, while it is impacting the other side of the nitric oxide, it is by causing glycation end products, and it is impacting the whole blood vessels, the whole circulatory system. That circulatory system, when it is affected, the nitric oxide levels, they are decreased, and there is constriction of the peripheral blood vessels, which may lead towards hypertension. So uric acid coming from fructose, causing damage to the nitric oxide, causing age or glycolic end products, glycation end products, is ultimately damaging the vascular system and damaging the glycocalyx. The glycocalyx, when it is damaged, it recovers very difficultly. Then the other thing that nitric oxide is used for is in our resistance, in our macrophage and our antibody and our resistance mechanisms in the body. They are decreased, they are slowed down, and we are prone to many infections. This is another problem. Then the fructose decreases the sensitivity of leptin. Now, leptin is a hormone, is a substance, is something which tells our brain and hypothalamus that the body or the stomach is full of food and we do not need any more food. When the leptin sensitivity is decreased, we eat more and more. Similarly, the fructose produces ghrelin, which is a hunger hormone, which is something which increases hunger. So whenever you are using juices, whenever you are eating fruits, you feel more hungry. Now, In its metabolism, the fructose is converted into lipoproteins, particularly the very low density lipoproteins and the triglycerides. The levels of triglycerides, very low density lipoproteins is increased and enhanced, and this leads towards the damage of the blood vessels, micro blood vessels, and it leads towards increase in the ratio of or increase in the intensity of cardiovascular diseases. It enhances the process of atherosclerosis. So everything coming from fructose. Fructose is the main culprit. It is coming from fruits, high fructose corn syrups, table sugars. Then, through another process within the body, that is called the polyol process, the body makes fructose from the rest of the starches, rest of the carbohydrates, and converts them into fructose. So, when fructose combines with the proteins everywhere in the body, they cause advanced glycation end products, and which are causing Maillard phenomena, and while in the joints they lead towards osteoarthritis. Similarly, these advanced glycation end products, when they are deposited in the tendons, they cause tendinitis, or the pains in the tendons, or the tendons become hard and sometimes they rupture. Achilles tendon rupture is very common with the long runners, maybe because of this fructose thing. Anyhow, similarly, in the same manner, we can say that removal of fructose can be phenomenal. It can reverse so many diseases. We also have accumulation of these advanced glycation end products in our vertebral discs. So, disc prolapses, disc diseases, and back pains, they are all leading towards disabling life, and it is because of this. So how to reverse? Stop taking sugars, table sugar number one. Stop taking table sugar. Go on stevia, monk fruit, and other natural sources of sweetening, and try to avoid sweets. This will only happen if you are eating sour and bitter things. Then the craving for sweet will be decreased, number one. Stop eating a lot of fruits. Some of the fruits, they are okay, they may be okay, because when you are eating a wholesome fruit, you are taking fibers, and absorption of fructose is now decreased. So limit the total carbohydrates in your diet up to a level of 5 to 10%. Take a lot of proteins, particularly the eggs and animal proteins in your diet, so that the body uses the proteins as a form of energy. Body uses fats as a form of energy. When a lot of fats, a lot of proteins are being used, and the least carbohydrates are being used, the body goes into nutritional ketosis, and this causes a lot of help in the reversal of fatty liver disease. So to reverse the fatty liver disease means we are reversing belly fat, we are reversing hormonal belly, we are reversing total fats in the body, we are reversing diabetes, we are reversing hypertension, and this is only possible by reversing or by stopping the eating of fructose. Thank you very much. If you like, please subscribe the channel and share to the friends and family.